Welcome to the Week 8 Football Podcast. No Keith this week, just me, Connor Morissette. Thanks so much for joining me. We got a new top 10, new game balls, some picks that I'm going to roll out for you. So you're not going to want to miss this installment of the SCPI Football Podcast. Let's dive right into the top 10. I want to shout out three teams who just missed the cut this week: Southgate, Eagle Rock, and Venice. Venice with a very impressive 40-28 win over Westchester to move to 3-3 on the year. Eagle Rock, they had a win against Wilson, 32-13. They moved to 5-1 on the season. And then Southgate, who of course beat Palisades earlier this season, they win against Bell this past week, 43-20, to move to 4-2 on the year. But let's get into the top 10. At 10, I have Fairfax. They had a big win, 41-0 over University this past week. So that moved them to 4-2 on the year. They play Palisades at home this week. That's a huge game. We'll see how they can perform. Scott Harris with another great game. The quarterback for Fairfax in that one, and the defense played well, of course, as well, shutting out University. At 9, San Fernando. They go on the road and they beat Reseda, the previously ranked team that we had from Division II. So San Fernando right now, for those keeping track at home, Division II, that's the top team right now. They won 51-26 over the Regents of Reseda. Now they play Canoga Park at home. Should be an easy win for them. They're 4-2 on the year. At 8, Carson, they fall 3 spots to 8 after losing big to Narbonne, 48-13. They're 3-3 on the year. The issue for Carson right now, the transfers came back, and I think people were expecting some bigger things, and it was a little bit of a disappointing result. I know at Narbonne is such a difficult place to play, so hard, but 48-13 speaks for itself. So Carson, there was a bit of a disappointing draw there. So they're down to 8. At 7, Palisades, they crushed Hamilton 42-7. So they are 7 on our list. They are 5-1 on the season now. Max Paley's had a big game in that one, 3 touchdowns. 6, Banning, big win for them over George Washington Prep, 41-12. They're 4-2. So that's the second team in the Marine League if you're keeping track at home. 5, the Dons of Dorsey got their first win, got off the Schneid. They beat LA High on the road, 1-5 now. Dorsey is after that win. It was a 63-7 victory for them. LA High obviously not very good. Who does Dorsey play this week? It's Crenshaw. That's a huge game for them. At 4, Birmingham. They rolled over Taft on the road, 60-0. They're 3-3. Birmingham should go undefeated the rest of the way. I don't know how that will impact their seeding because they really aren't playing too many difficult teams, but they will definitely be in the open division because they're not going to lose again. They're 3-3 right now. They won't drop another game. At 3, Crenshaw. They win at Manual Arts 54-0 to move to 4-2 on the season. The offense looks very, very good, and of course the defense as well, not allowing a single point. At 2, San Pedro. They had a big win against Gardena to move to 4-2 on the year. They won 61-6. That offense looks fantastic. They play on the road against Carson. That'll be a tough game for them. And then at number 1, Narbonne, huge win over Carson, 48-13. Chapman looked great, the quarterback for them. Jamar Jefferson was probably the player of the game. Ray Scott had a great game as well. Noah Jackson caught a touchdown. Narbonne looked very strong in that one, and they keep their position atop the perch in the LA City section. So to recap the top 10, 10 Fairfax, 9 San Fernando, 8 Carson, 7 Palisades, 6 Banning, 5 Dorsey, 4 Birmingham, 3 Crenshaw, 2 San Pedro, and 1 Narbonne. All right, game balls. I have 5 game balls I'm giving out this week, so bear with me. First, Bryson Tremaine. He catches 5 touchdowns against Westchester. That's a player of the week if I've ever heard of it. Congrats to Bryson Tremaine. He's one of my players of the week. Second, you got to give it to Taekwon Gilmore. 9 touchdowns. That's correct. 9 touchdowns. What a absolute beastly performance, and that set a city section record. 9 scores is incredible. Taekwon Gilmore, if you're just hearing his name, he's been doing this for a couple years now. I mean, not 9 touchdowns, but he's been absolutely fantastic for them. City section record, it speaks for itself. I'm running out of adjectives to describe him. He's unbelievable. I want to shout out Max Paley's as well. 3 touchdowns against Hamilton for Palisades. He's looked very good this season, the sophomore running back, so we'll hear from him years down the road. And then our first defensive player, Ray Scott. He's going to get a game ball this week as well. He blocked a punt against Carson. He also had a bunch of tackles for loss. He looked fantastic in that game. Big 48-13 win for Narbonne over Carson. And then finally, I want to shout out Jennifer Ibarra for Garfield. She is a kicker. She kicked an extra point. It was successful. First time ever for Garfield a female has scored a point for them. So shout out to Jennifer Ibarra. That thing would have been good. I saw the video. That thing would have been good from 40 yards. She absolutely bombed it. So next time Garfield's in field goal range, I think they should give her a chance. So Bryson Tremaine, Max Paley's, Taekwon Gilmore, Ray Scott, Jennifer Ibarra. Those are my game balls this week. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. So picks, we got 5 games on our slate. First one, Palisades at Fairfax. I like Fairfax in this game. I think their offense is a little bit better than Pally's, so I'm taking them in this one. Keith couldn't be with us this week. He likes Palisades. The second game on our list, Eagle Rock at Torres. Keith picked Torres because of the Taekwon Gilmore factor. I'm taking Eagle Rock because I think their defense is legit, good enough to win in Torres on the road. At 3, San Pedro at Carson. We both take San Pedro in this game. It's the offense. I think the San Pedro offense is going to do a little bit more to outshine that Carson defense. And then at 2, Banning at Narbonne. We both picked Narbonne in that game. They're the best team in the section. They'll show you why in that one. And then the last game, Crenshaw at Dorsey. I'm taking the Dons of Dorsey in this game. They know it's a must-win. It's going to be an absolutely huge game for them. If they don't win, they might be looking at the Division I playoffs instead of the Open Division. That's how important it is. They're 1-5 on the year. They need this win over Crenshaw. I think the team knows that. Charles Mincy, the coach, knows that. So I'm taking them to win. I think both offenses are good. I wouldn't be surprised if this game went over 80 points, like a 42-40 win. So I'm taking Dorsey. Keith took Crenshaw. That's going to do it for the Week 8 football podcast. Thanks so much for joining me. See you next time.